Brought to you by Rush TV.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Turnbuckle. I'm your host Tammy Young, and this is the post-Rumble Grounds news. Things in Seattle were red hot as OCWFED packed the arena with 68,740 people for this year's Rumble Grounds event, as host Guy Fieri and Stacey Clark kicked off the event. Tension was already high between the general manager of Turmoil Imp and Heather Angelo, but we'll get into more of that later. As for now, let's speak on the matches at hand. For the first matchup, we have the Madman Jinx going up against Mr. Deathmatch himself, Rex. The fans were treated to a pre-match hype video, which left the fans on the edge of their seats for the match. Things started off on high with a heavy spear from Rex, and it seemed as if it would be one of the more tamed death matches in Rex's career, but this feeling only lasted for a moment, as to some fans' surprise, Jinx was the first to introduce weapons into this match. Rex pulled off an amazing dropkick, blocking a flying trash can that was thrown by Jinx, which left fans in shock and awe. But even with this impressive display, Rex seemed to take a while to get out of first gear. Fans and those backstage reported Rex seemed to be heavily intoxicated more than usual before the show ever started, and this may have affected his ability to get a grip on the match. As Jinx was on top for a large portion of the fight, both men beat the hell out of each other and looked as if they could barely stand, but somehow Jinx was able to kick out of a massive neck drop to the outside mat. Rex put up one hell of a fight, but the king of death matches was not able to keep the madman down, as Jinx was able to nail the no laughing matter to keep Rex down for the 3 count, your winner Jinx. Before Jinx could enjoy the spoils of his win, he was laid out by Telos, who appeared out of nowhere delivering a huge goozle slam to the winner. The matters between Telos and Jinx only seem to be getting worse as time goes on. Next up, we have the debut of DNS's Pearl, going up against the furious Heather Angelo, accompanied by the threat hunter Cody Hagan. Fans were not sure what to expect from this fight, as this would be the first match Pearl has been placed in since making her presence known last season. As the match started, things seemed like it would be an easy matchup for Heather, who was welcoming the new face with ruthless aggression, which many in the audience could hear Heather muttering the name of Imp as she let out a vicious attack on the rookie. Fans were not too impressed by the showings of Pearl at the start, but soon enough the tables began to turn as Pearl was able to step up on her offense and began landing strike after strike on Heather. But even with making a comeback, the rookie's inexperience leads to several missed dives and openings for Heather to take control of the fight, as Heather was able to plant Pearl in the ground with the witching hour for the 1-2-3. Welcome to OCW Pearl, your winner Heather Angelo. The match left fans shocked as the two women put on a possible show-stopping match just moments before the Rumble was set to take place. Speaking of the Rumble, what a hell of a showing this year was, with a few debuts such as Keira Nightingale and Junko Girota, as well as a few returning faces such as Anna Mozity, Cheryl Styx, and Elsa Helmberg. With this year's first ever intergender Rumble now over and done with, here are a few highlights from some of the moments that took place.
Here we go, Russ Cole, of course, number 1 and 2. Oh my God, it's shot! This is his first ever Rumble Ground, if I do remember correctly. God, wait, we're about to get some betting up in this bitch. Oh, wait a minute, hey, he's still fighting. Oh. Oh my, this is a very bad spot for elderly people. Kids are back up, 2 minutes on the clock. Last one out, running right by Crispy. Very much so, Juice. Oh, love. Oh, it could be early night. 8-2-0. Edwards or Ma Edwards. Oh, he's going Iron Man, brother. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck you, Larry. Oh, God. Flocho's gone. Oh, my God.
And there you have it. 2024's Rumble Grounds winner is Holly Hunter with our Iron Person, for the event being Max Edwards. Please keep an eye out on OCWFED.com for more Rumble Ground stats, such as most eliminations, shortest ring time, and more. On to other news. As the Rumble Grounds event was wrapping up, a fight broke out in the parking garage between Heather Angelo and Imp. No word on who started the fight, but the members of TOG swarmed Heather and began to brutally attack her as members of staff went to seek help. The attack stopped with Heather being powerbombed into a car's windshield. Heather was assisted to the medical room, where she was reported to only suffer from minor cuts and bruises. This event sparked Cody Hagan to storm toward the ring after the Rumble Grounds event was off the air to call out Imp on this attack. The fan footage shows Cody Hagan and Imp having a heated conversation with fans, report Cody calling Imp a coward, weak, and abusing her power. And Imp informing Cody if he doesn't like how management runs things, he can leave. OCW doesn't need him or anyone like him. As the smoke cleared and the dust has settled on the OCWFED Rumble Ground 2024 event, the fans were reported leaving the building beyond excited, with wrestling sites rating this year's Rumble Grounds event a solid B overall. On to our final news. OCW fans are in for one hell of a wrestling week, with a new episode of Ambition 90 right around the corner. Fans of the show will be treated to Pearl vs. Mab, Junko Giroda vs. Hifumi Mayoshi, Rachel Lachlan vs. Christine, and the main event of Eddie Ramos versus a returning Ambition alumni, John Carter. Ambition seems to be setting the world on fire when it comes to booking, as booker Paul Pugh has been pulling out all the stops recently. Ambition is set to air on Wednesday, June 19th. Following Ambition, we have a return to Riot, with Riot's 622 card being dropped a few days ago. The Lucian season seems to have the bookers in a frenzy, as fans of Riot will be treated to debuting rookie Gabriel Vincent versus Bay, as well as tag team action with A-Mart and Paul Harris versus the tag team champions Mass Effect, another debuting rookie Keira Nightingale versus Belle, Harper LaRue versus Alexa Hayes, more tag team action of Perfect Storm versus Grit and Glory, and wrapping up the night with the main event of Mugen versus Rex. Things are getting insane at OCW, and I don't expect them to lighten up anytime soon, as our next major stop is set to be Wrestle Lucian in Atlanta on July 13th and July 14th. With so much wrestling in the works, what more could you ask for? This brings us to the end of this week's news report, but you can keep up with these news reports as well as backstage events, injury reports, and more on OCWFED.com. I have been your host, Tammy Young, and this has been The Turnbuckle. I'll see you next time.